If you've played this game long enough, it's likely you run into this situation. Depending on your character and meter status, it can be very tricky to get out of. But Laugh has discovered a technique that will greatly increase your chances of escaping and preventing this from happening to you.
So Keto gets up and walks off and poses on the stage! Woo!
That is hot. I wish you guys could see what is happening right now.
Usually when you are put in that situation, the best thing you can do is EX Tots in the air. But I don't have any meter right now.
Yeah.
So my only choice is to do an uppercut as soon as I land.
Okay.
But that's difficult. If you press your punch button too fast, you're gonna get a normal in the air, and that's gonna give you landing delay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get hit by demon, guaranteed.
Okay. So you can't just mash it out, because if you keep on hitting a punch button.
Right. So if you're mashing, you're trying to press buttons as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Which means you are probably gonna get a button in the air.
Button in the air, which means you're gonna get hit by the demon.
Right. Demon is invincible during the earlier frames. See, I try to mash right there.
Yeah.
And I got a jumping fierce punch.
Yeah.
Which is no good.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you press the punch button too late, let me try to do this.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you press the punch button too late, you would already be grabbed.
Yeah.
So it's too late for you to do anything now.
Yeah. So even if you try to time it, it's like you have a very small window.
That's right.
To get it. So it's very risky. Yeah.
Yeah. So the best thing any player could have hoped for was to time it perfectly like that,
okay.
right there.
Yeah.
But in a tournament setting, you've been focusing so much of your energy throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, I imagine that's very difficult to nail.
And sometimes it's the difference between a win and a loss.
Yeah, I mean that's half your life if it's a full ultra meter. So.
Exactly. Since there is a condition here, special condition, that requires you to not press a button too fast.
Yeah.
So a traditional plinking is out of the window. A traditional piano technique, rather, is out the window.
Yeah.
So how do you make it work? And I think I found a solution, and it's a reverse piano, if you will.
Okay.
It's still a piano technique, but instead of pressing the 3 buttons, you release 3 buttons in succession.
Okay, so when you release a button, that counts as an input, right? I think that's known as negative edge.
Yes.
Right? So
in Street Fighter, you can get a special move out with the release of a button, and like you said, it's a negative edge.
Yeah. I think it's kind of useful if you're like throwing fireballs, and sometimes when you can't throw a fireball because there's another fireball on the screen, and you just press the button, you'll whiff, you whiff normal. Whereas if you're just doing negative edge, just nothing will come out because you're not pressing any buttons.
Exactly.
Actively, yeah.
So that's been a technique people have been using since Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
But I decided to apply that technique in this very specific situation because, let's face it, you don't want to lose 50% of your life and lose a round. So what you do is very simple. So press, you do your shuriken motion, and then release 3 buttons in succession.
Okay.
So you are still trying to time your move.
Yeah.
But now you have 3 times the chance.
Yeah. Okay.
If you do it perfectly, obviously.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you get 3 times the chances, and you lose the chance of doing an air normal like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will never get an air normal out.
Yeah.
So you eliminate that problem completely.
Yeah. Okay.
So right there, you didn't see me press any punch buttons in the input window.
Yep.
But I got an uppercut out.
Yeah, so it looks like the negative edge button was the light punch because you got out with the light punch Shoryuken.
Exactly. So I released the buttons in the order from jab, strong, fierce.
Okay.
So it looks like I got the jab part this time.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I don't even know which one I'm gonna get. I'm just, trying to avoid. One of those three is good enough, right?
Yeah.
You can't complain there.
Yeah, you can't complain. Yeah. At least you got out of it, and hey, and Akuma takes some damage. Maybe you didn't get fierce DP, but you got a good 100 damage with the light DP. So, and this is something that can be used by other characters, I imagine, with a 3-frame uppercut kind of move or
Anybody with an invincible move
yeah.
can do that.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be an uppercut. Okay, let's go through the characters. See. Well, Guile's a good one.
Oh yeah.
The only way out is flash kick, obviously.
Yeah.
Your only hope. But with this technique,
Yeah, it's something maybe Dominion could use, right?
yeah.
Or Knuckle do.
Oh.
All right, so now we're trying this with Guile. Nice. Okay. Wow.
140 damage.
140 damage.
You got out of the situation.
And you got out of the situation. That's very, very good. And you did that was that your first or second try or?
First.
First try? Yeah. You could never do that if you're. And this is the thing. You can't really even match the motion with Guile. You can't go down, up, down, up, down, up, or anything.
No,
like
you
that.
can't do that. You just gotta have good timing.
Yeah, you just gotta have good timing.
Oh, messed that one up.
Yeah. So you can be charging during the animation. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Guile can definitely use that.
Yeah.
I'm sure DJ also. All the charge characters.
All the charge characters, yeah.
I noticed that I'm bad. I get worse if I'm talking and trying to do this at the same time.
Sure. Use your CPU.
Right. Yeah, see, if I don't talk, I get it a lot more consistently. And sure enough, if you're in the middle of a match, you're not going to be talking about this.
Yeah. You'll be concentrating on the moment.
So, if you practice this enough,
Yeah.
it's not that difficult
Yeah.
to get it at a good enough precision, timing wise, and to get your move out and get out of that situation.
So there you have it. Hopefully this will help you get demoned less often and help you make some hype moments. Thanks for watching. There's more to come.